So to make my dinosaur painting, I want to make two different dinosaurs. So I'm going to fold my paper in half. And I'm going to make my paper real wet, and I'm going to make one side all purples and blues and the other side all greens. You can do one paper all one color, it's up to you, but you want your paper to be wet because we're going to be pouring a little bit of you want your paper to be wet because we're going to be pouring a little bit of salt on top of it. When the salt dries, it creates a really cool effect that you can't get with just watercolors alone. And I'm just doing random colors, and I'm painting very quickly because I want my paper to stay wet as possible so that I can pour the salt on top of it. So I'm doing one half purples and pinks, and I'm going to do the other half all greens and yellows. So I'm painting the yellow first because that's my lightest color, and then I'm going to put the greens on top. And I'm also going to put a little blue in there because I know that blue and yellow makes green. So I can get a really cool color. But the most important part is that I'm keeping my paper wet. I'm not going to let it dry. And we're just making paper right now because we're going to be cutting dinosaurs for our book. For our project, just like the book, right out of this paper. So it's not going to be, we don't know what it's going to turn out like. And you can see my paper is nice and wet. And I'm sprinkling table salt on it. And I have to wait for it to dry to see the real effects. But once it dries, what happens is the table salt sucks up. I have to wet it a little bit more because my paper started to dry. But the table salt kind of sucks up the water and leaves these really super cool designs. And you can see it happening a little bit on my green one. But once it's really perfectly dry, you're going to brush off the table salt and you're going to have all these very cool designs. It's going to help make some really interesting, magical dinosaurs. I cannot wait to see how yours turn out.